guys, it's Ashley. Happy Thanksgiving! Today, to celebrate, I am doing the Book Feast tag. This is a tag that was started by Haley over at The Leading Lady. I wasn't actually tagged by anybody, but I saw it over on Michelle's channel, so I will link both of them down below for your viewing pleasure. The way this works is there are 7 bookish questions related to different items at a Thanksgiving feast, and I'm going to answer them. So I'm going to do this just a little bit differently. For each question, I'm going to pick one fiction and one non-fiction book for you, just because I can. Really, there's no real reason. So let's jump in so this doesn't take forever. The first one is Appetizer. Pick a short book to get us started. For the fiction, I have picked The Little Prince by this Frenchman that I can't say his name. I tried to in one of my wrap-ups. You can see me try to pronounce it over there, but I'm not even going to try right now. But if you have not read this, this is a very sweet, very impactful, very thought-provoking, short little novel, and it's got plenty of really beautiful pictures within. For the nonfiction, I picked Stuff Christians Like by Jon Acuff. Now, this isn't actually very short, but it was kind of the shortest nonfiction that I could pick, but it reads really, really quick because it's just a bunch of little essays about stuff Christians like and why, and it's hilarious. Item number 2 is Mashed Potatoes and Gravy. Pick a duology. Now, this was a little tough because I realized I don't think I've read a duology. I've read plenty of trilogies, but I don't think any duologies. So if you know of a good duology, please put it down below so I can actually read a duology. But what I picked for this, for the fiction, was Fangirl and Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. They're not technically a duology, but they kind of go together. Also, I just finished reading Carry On this morning, so it's kind of on my brain. So if you don't know, Fangirl is about a girl named Kath who's going off to college, and her life kind of revolves around this set of novels called Simon Snow. And it's sort of like a Harry Potter-esque novel series, and Kath writes fan fiction for it. So the whole Fangirl novel is interspersed with bits from the Simon Snow series and also bits of her own fan fiction. Rainbow Rowell wrote this book, Carry On, which is basically Rainbow's fan fiction of the Simon Snow novels that don't even exist in our world, and it's kind of awesome. There is going to be a review of this very, very soon. Now, if I thought it was hard to pick a duology for fiction, I found it very hard to pick one for nonfiction because most nonfiction doesn't go like that. But I decided to go with Mindy Kaling's book. The first one is Everybody Hanging Out Without Me? And Why Not Me? These books are both fantastic. They're both just a series of short essays from Mindy Kaling about her life and about things she's observed, and they're both very funny, very real, and I loved them both. Item number 3 is Cornbread. Pick a book that you cannot get enough of. For the fiction book, I went with A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab. I read this over the summer, and I just cannot stop thinking about it. She keeps posting teasers for the second book in the series, and I'm getting so excited. But I know it doesn't come out for like 6 more months or something ridiculous like that. But I absolutely love this. And this follows a man named Kel who has the ability to travel between different dimensions, alternate universes. It's very strange, and I don't have time to get into the whole thing, but I did talk about it quite a bit in one of my wrap-ups, so I will link that here and down below so you can see all of my thoughts on it. But I really enjoyed this book. It just grew on me the more I read it and the more I think about it, and I just really enjoy it, and I can't wait to get back into this world and see more of these characters. For the nonfiction that I can't get enough of, I'm going with Let's All Be Brave by Annie F. Downs. I read this book last summer, fall-ish, and I just can't get enough of it. I keep thinking about it. I keep going back to reference it. I just love this book so much. She just talks about being brave with your everyday life, and it's just fantastic. I related a whole lot to her. I still do. I follow her on social media, and I can't wait for her next book to come out. She's keeps teasing that she's finishing it up, and I just can't wait because I just loved her so much. I love watching her videos and things, and she's just so real and relatable. I'm going to put a link to my blog down below because I did this cool Brave box for Christmas last year for some girls, and I included this book in it with this whole little thing, and so I'll leave that link down below because I think it's just something really fun. In fact, I made one for myself. Item number 4 for your Thanksgiving book feast is Green Bean Casserole. Pick a book that you grew to love. For the fiction, I'm going with Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. This book kind of started out slow for me. It was interesting, but I didn't really love it. As I read it, as I went through the whole book, I did love it. It's not my usual type of thing. I'm not a huge gamer, but I just really, really enjoyed this world and these characters, and the whole concept was just really cool, and it got me thinking. I just really enjoyed it. I really came to love it. In fact, I think when I finished it, I put it at like 3 stars, and then by the time I got to the computer to review it on Goodreads, I bumped it up to like 4. It just grew on me a lot. For the nonfiction, I'm choosing The 4-Hour Workweek by Timothy Ferriss. This is a business book and a life book. I wasn't sure what to expect when I started it, but I saw it recommended a lot of different places, so I decided to check it out. While I don't love this book, it gave me some really good information. It helped me look at things differently, even though a lot of it doesn't actually apply to me, as I'm not a business person and I don't own a business and have no desire to own a business. I still got some really good tips out of time management and different things that he's done with his life, such as traveling and working out and different things. This was a really interesting book, and I would recommend it. It's one of those books that I do think about and I reference every so often, so it was definitely worth it, and I ended up enjoying it more than I thought I would. Item number 5 is stuffing, my favorite, and this is choose a book that blew your mind. And so for the fiction, I am going to have to go with Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. It's no secret that I absolutely loved this book, and it totally blew my mind. It was definitely not what I was expecting, and it was just so good, and I have tons of videos where I talk about this, and I will leave a link to my Illuminae review right here and down below so that you can see how much I absolutely adore this book. For the nonfiction, I'm going with Stop the Traffic by Steve Chalk. This is the book that I first read that just opened my eyes to the reality of human trafficking and modern day slavery, and it completely blew my mind with the statistics and the stories and everything that was inside of it. So it wasn't necessarily a happy thing that blew my mind, but it was something that changed the way I look at the world and changed how I live my life, and so that is particularly mind-blowing. Item number 6 is Turkey. Choose a big book. So for the fiction, I went with the biggest book that I own that I have also read, and that is Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix by J.K. Rowling. This is a monster of a book, and it's so good. Side note, can you imagine what this is going to be like when they come out with the illustrated version of it? Because you've seen the illustrated version and how huge that is of Sorcerer's Stone. It's already massive. So what on earth are they going to do with this one? Are they going to like split it up into 2 books, or is it just going to be a ginormous, amazing book? I don't even know. For the nonfiction, I went with, again, the biggest book that I could find that's nonfiction and also not a textbook, although it's kind of textbooky, and that is Kingdom of the Cults by Walter Martin. This book is invaluable if you are doing any sort of study on the different religions and different cults. It's huge, and it's just got all sorts of information about how these different religions got started, what they believe, how it differs from Christianity, and all of that stuff. I have not read it all the way through because I don't think that's how it's designed, and frankly I think my brain would explode if I did that, but I have referenced it for different projects, schoolwork, and things like that, and it's just really, really good. We're up to the end with number 7, Pumpkin Pie, choose the last book in a series. Now for the fiction, I wanted to go a little bit different than what I usually go with and what most people on BookTube go with. So I picked a series that I don't think I've mentioned on BookTube before, and the book that I chose is The Rescuer by Dee Henderson. This is the last book in the O'Malley series, which is phenomenal. Dee Henderson is really good at writing suspense and romance with a Christian influence, and the O'Malley series follows 7 siblings who have adopted each other when they all aged out of the system, and they're all in various levels of public service, and so each book is about each sibling going along, and it's just so good. I love this whole series. They're all so sweet and so gripping, and suspense isn't usually a genre that I enjoy, but this series, oh my goodness, I love this one. And again, for the nonfiction, this was a little bit of a reach because they don't really do series in nonfiction generally. So I'm going with Do-Over by Jon Acuff, which is not this book, but my copy of Do-Over is currently loaned out. But this is the second in the series. Basically, Jon Acuff writes these business life books. The first one in this series is Quitter. This is the second book, Start, and then the third is Do-Over. I'm not sure it's going to be the final one though, because he said he's working on a new book, so I don't know if it's going to be related or if it's going to be something else. But each book deals with a different point in your career. I just love all of Jon Acuff's books. I love all his blogs. I love everything this man does. I think he's just a really good man in general, and the community that he has built is just unbelievable, and I'm so thankful every day for him and for his books and for this community of dreamers and builders that he's put together and that I get to be a part of. Is just really special, and really, it's something I don't take for granted. So that is my book feast. I've got lots of good material here in fiction and nonfiction. I just thought this was a really fun tag, something really simple and very in the holiday spirit. So if you're watching this video and you think that it would be really fun to have a book feast, then I tag you. Pikachu? Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you have a very happy Thanksgiving. I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and I will talk to you later. Bye.